Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo, Michael Bullock, and Dee Dee Woodson. And guys, we are just gonna dive right in. This is it. Here it is, guys. The jump off to the brand new season of SmackDown Live, the season premiere. We started it off with a segment that was started by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, welcoming everybody to the Thunderdome and to the season debut of SmackDown Live, with all the superstars, the new superstars of SmackDown that all got selected during the WWE draft. And we started with the Street Profits. They were last introduced. Their challengers, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, jumped them from behind, and a brawl broke out. So we had that. Then Lars Sullivan came out. They kind of try to pick a fight. He tries to pick a fight with Jeff Hardy. Leads to the first fight of the night, which was Jeff Hardy versus Lars Sullivan. Sullivan wins the match in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, all right. This was actually not bad. And here's the reason why I'm saying that. Lars Sullivan is a monster. He's a big man. He needs to feed off of that kind of talent. And on top of that, for Jeff Hardy, Hardy is one of those traditional guys, great wrestler, one of the best. He could absorb a loss like this. It's not going to hurt his stock. It's not that he's going on a downward spiral. It's not that he's being buried. Because obviously Jeff Hardy is one of the frontline soldier guys. And on top of that, I believe Hardy's heading off to Monday Night Raw. So obviously, you needed Sullivan to look good. You need him to look strong. So with that, that's an A plus for that to give him a jump off. And for Hardy, no harm, no foul. You go off to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, they got some big and better things for you coming up over there on the Red brand. I wish you nothing but the best. But in all, I think this was a good night for Lars Sullivan. It was a good night. Yes, I know a lot of people are saying, well, does he really deserve all this with all the negativity he's gotten and everything else? Look, a lot of wrestlers been getting a lot of heat lately. Him, Riddle, Dream, the list goes on and on. So we got to be very careful how they approach this. But look, for it to be the season premiere, for it to be the jump off of SmackDown, I mean, it was okay. Anthony, it's yours.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. You would think with the authority starting the night, Triple H and Stephanie. I mean, you would think. I thought with them starting the show, we Bullock and I during our SmackDown chat, we thought maybe they were going to drop some sort of bomb announcement, but no, it's just like we've seen them do so many years, so many times, whether it was SmackDown or Raw. They just laid the groundwork, set the agenda, whatever. But But it was fine though. It was good to see them. I mean, we don't get to see them often as much anymore, but But anyways, needless to say, Lars Sullivan is problematic. I'm not going to go into everything here, but if you want to know why, just look him up and that'll tell you everything you need to know. Controversy aside, there is nothing to separate him from every other powerhouse on the roster. He has no discernible personality beyond wanting to cause destruction and a look that is too generic to stand out. Match was fine. I'll give it about 2 stars for the effort. I mean, Hardy is great at selling and can make anyone look good. This one just didn't stand out as anything special. I could probably say by default this was the worst fight of the night. So yeah, I mean, Jeff Hardy coming to Raw. Very, very happy to have him. I mean, good to have a veteran that that can help get the younger talent over, and that's obviously what he was asked to do tonight. Get the big man over. So that's all there is to really say on this. So I'm going to give it 2 stars. Segment was fine. So, but it's been done to death. We've seen it before. So Not really the best way to start, but the show does get better going forward. So there's really nothing more to say. Phenom, Michael Bullock, come on in, fresh off another one of our legendary SmackDown chats this evening, and we said it during the SmackDown chat, and you said it. If Lars Sullivan can stay healthy, and then I added if he can, and also if he can keep his nose clean, he could be a future champion as long as he doesn't screw it up.
Yeah, that's the thing. He needs to basically stay injury free, and he also needs to watch himself because, yeah, I mean, because if he gets into any more trouble, I mean, chances of him becoming a champion in the future are in doubt. So, yeah, I'll give it 2 stars for the effort. I mean, the segment was fine, but not really anything special. Same thing we could say about this match, and I agree. This was not a good way to start off the season premiere, but yeah, it does get better eventually. So nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I can agree with the rating. Yeah, the segment, a little boring, a little overdone. They do it quite often. Um, the match, I'm not surprised that Jeff lost since he's going over to Raw. So yeah, they needed to put over Lars, and from what I understand, Vince is really still high on Lars, even though he seems to get himself in trouble quite often. So yeah, if he can stay clean and stay uninjured, we shouldn't have any issues, and he should go far. But he's got to get past all these issues that he's got. So nothing else I had to add. It's yours, Fletch.
All right, and then we do move on with, well, something I never thought I would ever see. The New Day for the final time. Kofi, Xavier, and Big E. They cut it a promo. Then we had a backstage thing, backstage with Sheamus, Nakamura, and Cesaro. And then we had the match, The New Day versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. The New Day wins the match. 14 minutes, 45 seconds. Anthony Florio, what a moment. The New Day go out on top as rightfully they deserve.
And they do it with the fight of the night. That's how they did it. Wow, what a match. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt. We all knew New Day was going to win. Did you really think they were going to have them lose their last match together? Not on your life. But I'll say it as this. Everything about this, and this is where the show starts to turn the corner in a good way. The promo before this match was as real and genuine as it gets in professional wrestling. These are 3 guys who were floundering when they formed the group 6 years ago and elevated each other to the top of the tag team division. It's unlikely they will be apart forever, but the emotion was still real as they talked about their love for each other. As far as the match that followed is concerned, amazing. Great 6-man tag team match that was designed to give the New Day a nice send-off. Cesaro, Sheamus, and Nakamura, they're all great at what they do, so they were able to play the part of the heels who put the good guys over as well as anyone. A lot of fans are upset that WWE is breaking up the New Day, but giving them one last match together was a nice gesture. And let's hope this leads to a lot of success for everyone involved. And Monday Night Raw will have Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods as the Raw Tag Team Champions. And of course, Big E staying on SmackDown. And I'm gonna go on the record with what I'm about to say here. MF, I'm hopeful you'll put me on the record for this. I know you don't mind when I ask you to do this, but put me on the record for this right now.
Okay.
On this night, October 16th, 2020, I am going to make a couple of bold predictions when it comes to Mr. Big E. Prediction number 1, he is my early favorite to win the Men's Royal Rumble match in January. And on top of that, I think I know there's a lot of rumors about Roman Reigns and The Rock going at it at Mania. I get it and all that. That's fine and dandy. But for me, I think if you have Big E win the Rumble, have Big E be the one to ultimately dethrone the Tribal Chief as the Universal Champion on the grandest stage at WrestleMania, regardless of where it is, whether it's at SoFi or Raymond James or, God forbid, the Thunderdome. It doesn't matter. I believe Big E will be the next Universal Champion. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Put me on the record for it. Fight of the night. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Great 6-man. The action was great. So many great moments during this, and great way to send these guys off. I wasn't really feeling them at first, but as they got on and as they started teaming up more and more and did more things, they became the most fun stable in WWE history. Thank you, guys. So, separate ways, and now, like I said, hopefully long-term success for all three of these guys. Kofi and Xavier on my show, Monday Night Raw, and Big E, who I believe will be the future Universal Champion come Mania. So, nothing for me to say on this. Michael Bullock, fight of the night, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. What a way to send out the New Day. And what made it even better, our boy, Mr. Danilo Infimio, in his prompt before, was the referee.
Yeah, that definitely made it sweet. But as far as the promo goes, I mean, it was about as real as it got because these guys, they reflected on the years they've been together. I mean, it was like 6 years ago that these two formed, and how they have been so successful ever since they were thrown together. I mean, they became the longest reigning. And since this is the last time they'll be together, I'm gonna do it. And Florio, if you want to do it with me, let's do it. They were been one of the longest reigning WWE World
Tag Team Champions.
And yeah, they definitely were that. And they gave us so many good matches that they had. I mean, the one that really stands out to me is the with the Usos. I mean, that's the one of the matches that really stands out to me. So, and as far as the match goes, this to me was definitely the fight of the night. Florio, what did you give the match?
I gave it between 3.5 to 3 3/4.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 3.5 to 3 3/4 as well. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt. I mean, did you really think that they were gonna have the New Day lose in their farewell match? Heck no. There was no way they were gonna have them lose. But great effort by all of these competitors, and yeah, this was definitely a great way to give the New Day their farewell match, and now they go their separate ways. Big E staying on SmackDown, and of course Kofi and Xavier Woods on Raw as the Raw Tag Team Champion. So yeah, 3.5 to 3 3/4. Yeah, this was definitely a fitting farewell to the New Day. I mean, they'll be together again someday. We just don't know when. So, but for now, I'm gonna do it one more time for them. And you want to know why it was so good? Because New Day
rocks.
New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
Hit it.
Get used to that, Florio, because you know Xavier's gonna have that on Raw.
Francesca number 2, get ready.
Yep. Francesca number 2 is gonna be invading Monday Night Raw. So, Dee Woodson, it's yours. Way. Yep, exactly. So now, Dee, it's yours.
No, I am not.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I can agree with everything that was said. I'm not even going to get into imitating any of it. So yeah, just move on. I agree with the rating. Just move on.
Oh, Dee Dee, you just made my night. Oh my goodness. But you know what? That's why I didn't want to join in on it. That was really kind of a Florio Bullock thing more than anything else. But you know what? It was sentimental. It was, without a doubt, one of the more heartwarming moments of the night on SmackDown. Um, it was power. It was powerful. You know, seeing the love, the camaraderie, the unity of these guys, the New Day. Like we said, 6 years ago, relative unknowns. Biggie was already an Intercontinental Champion. Kofi was a master of the tag team. Xavier Woods was really an NXT project, trying to get up, trying to make a big run in the company. Didn't really pan out. We were waiting to see when they were gonna break out. Then with them three together, you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know, whatever. They became one of the greatest stables in all of professional wrestling. They're the most recognizable stable. They became a powerhouse with the gimmicks, with everything that they did. You know, with the unicorns, the rainbow, the bootios. Yes, they actually made a cereal of them. To the pancakes. To them poking fun at Corey Graves, throwing the pancakes or whatever at Corey Graves, making him all huffy puffy and mad. And to the gyrating of the WWE World Tag Team Champions, to the Francesca number 2. You know, it is what it is, and we all just admired it. We loved it. It was a fun 6 years, and we're grateful that we had it. The match itself was fight of the night. 3.5 stars. I could even maybe say 3 3/4. It was that good. It was an amazing match. There was really nothing more to say. We're just gonna move right on along. Next up, after that big moment, well, it's time for an even bigger moment. The ladies and gentlemen and yes movement around the world, Daniel Bryan makes his return to SmackDown Live, and he comes out. The Thunderdome explodes. You saw the yeses from the monitors. Everybody was saying yes. Even, and I can't believe they had him, but his wife, Brie Bella, one of his daughter and his daughter Birdie were in the building. I don't think we didn't get to see the newborn. We didn't get to see the little boy, the new son of Daniel Bryan. But he showed the love, showed the respect. Everybody was going wild. Daniel Bryan cuts a really good promo, interrupted by Seth Rollins. Now this got interesting for me because I really loved this storyline, because I'm like, Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, maybe that's the first? Nope, interrupted by the Mysterios. But they chased Rollins out. They didn't get a chance to get physical with them, but they chased them out of the ring. And then at the top of the ramp, when he thought he got away, bang! Buddy Murphy shows up and jumps Seth Rollins and gets a piece of him in the whole fray. So this was chaotic. This was a crazy scene. But more importantly, you got 3 developing storylines for Seth Rollins. You can do Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins with the Mysterios, Seth Rollins with Buddy Murphy. This is gotten very interesting. Now, okay, I get it. A lot of people doesn't like the Mysterio storyline. I think they feel like it should go away right now. All right, I'll give you that. But him versus Murphy, compelling matchup. Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins, very compelling matchup. And this is one of the reasons why, as a SmackDown fan, this got me thinking, oh man, what if these two go at it? I would love to see this match. Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins? Yes, please. Fox, make that happen. I agree. Let's go. This is why I love the possibilities here. The land of opportunity of SmackDown Live. This actually got me compelled. I'm interested. Michael Bullock, what says you, my friend? I know you were happier than a Cheshire cat. Your boy is back. The leader of the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan.
Yes, 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 yes. I was very happy to see him back, and you could tell that he was excited to be in the Thunderdome and to see all his fellow members of the Yes Movement virtually, to say the very least. But yeah, interrupted by Seth Rollins, and then you had basically the Mysterios and then Murphy. I mean, so many things could happen, but the one thing I really want to see somewhere down the line, I know that they're probably going to continue this whole storyline with Rollins, Murphy, and the Mysterios, but I definitely want to see Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins going at it at some point on SmackDown. I mean, you put these two in the ring, I mean, especially if you do it on a pay-per-view, that could be somewhere around 4.5 to 5 based on the body of work of these two. And I don't think this is the first time that these two have ever met, because I think they met one time when Seth Rollins was once a member of the Authority. So this isn't the first time, but this is something I'm definitely intrigued. But obviously, it looks like they're going to continue the whole storyline with the Mysterios and Buddy Murphy, especially now that they're on SmackDown as well. So we'll wait and see what happens here. So there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you, and I'm just so happy that the leader of the Yes Movement is back.
Yeah, it was great to see Brian back, and the enthusiasm that he has and the passion he has for the business and for the fans, just spilled over in this promo. And it was also great to see Brie and Birdie out in the audience in the Thunderdome. That was awesome as well. Yeah, this would be interesting to see how this is going to play out, because like you guys said, there's several different scenarios that can play out in this one, and it'll be interesting to see which one they actually choose. I'm wondering if it's going to be more of Seth and Daniel, and then let the Mysterios just deal with Murphy, since they still have their own little issues with him, even though he wanted to shake hands with him. He was trying to show him some respect, and you can't blame him for not wanting to trust him after everything that he did to them with Seth Rollins. That kind of makes it a little harder to put that behind him that quickly. So we'll have to see what all comes out of this in the end, because right now we just kind of have like 3 or 4 storylines all building up at once here, and we'll just have to see how this unravels. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, I know. This was a strong segment. This was pretty good. Look, everybody knows I'm not the biggest Daniel Bryan fan, but to know that he shows up, to know that he was on SmackDown, to know that he's a part of the Blue brand, I'm gonna tolerate it. I'm gonna let it by and let it be. And I enjoyed it. I thought he did great. I thought he lived it up. This was an amazing moment, to say the very least, because of who it is. It's Daniel Bryan, guys. I mean, there's really nothing more to add. He is a legend. He is a big name. And yeah, there's really nothing more to add there. And then yes, when you go to the next part, obviously what Rollins have done to the Mysterios so badly, yes, that rivalry is not done, and it definitely will come back at some point. They're gonna have to resolve that. And then with Murphy trying to go with the olive branch, and yeah, it could be just a sign to try to, give an olive branch on his end, maybe, for him and Aaliyah. But the thing is that Murphy, you've burned a bridge that may not be able to be repaired. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to take some time and maybe take some lumps along the way before the Mysterios will give you the opportunity to for you to have your mea culpa. But right now, you burned too big of a bridge at the moment that obviously they don't want to uh have you, be on that side. So there's nothing more to say there. And then as far as, you know, Murphy and Rollins, that could be an interesting storyline and an interesting match in itself. Murphy is definitely trying to break away from his Messiah. He doesn't want to be the, I guess you could say, the disciple anymore. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. So, I mean, there's a lot of interchangeable parts right now. Brian was there just to say, I'm glad to be here, glad to be on SmackDown, can't wait to get started. Rollins might be the first guy up, or maybe they might have somebody else in mind. You don't know. But we'll wait and see how this plays out. Very interesting. Anthony, it's yours.
Yes, great segment here, no doubt about it. And yes, considering the origins of this feud, which was Monday Night Raw, I know better than any of you guys. The feud between Rollins and the Mysterios has dragged on far too long. But it was satisfying to see Murphy finally take out the man who has abused them for weeks. The Mysterios were unwilling to accept Murphy's handshake, but it's just a matter of time, maybe, before they form a possible alliance. You don't know. It's always nice to see Daniel Bryan, and having him back on SmackDown will open up a lot of possibilities for different feuds. Seth Rollins. Oh, my goodness. They have fought many of times in WWE. On Monday Night Raw on June 10th of 2013, a match that was voted on during with the dreaded WWE app. Remember when that was making our life miserable? I mean, we all remember how nuts that drove us.
Boy, you had to bring that back up.
It was an app vote match. It was voted on by the WWE app, and the whole night the fans used the app to vote for the match. But we ended up getting a damn good match now, didn't we? So that was June 10th of 13. September 6th of 13, they wrestled on a SmackDown. And the most recent meeting was last year on Monday Night Raw, with the roles reversed, with Rollins as the babyface and Bryan as the heel. And they had a banger of a match on that night. So you put those two together, whether it's on a SmackDown or a paper. Well, if it's on a SmackDown, it's probably gonna be like 3.5 to 4 at best. But you turn them loose on a pay-per-view, give them plenty of time, 4.5 to 5 easy. Bullock nailed it. So that's really all I can say on that. So many possibilities, but unfortunately, MF, you've got a huge loose end that you have to tie up. And I'm sorry that we had to drop that baggage on you guys, but it's major baggage, and
Yeah,
hopefully
we'll have to deal with it. We'll figure it out. I'm confident with my SmackDown crew. We'll figure it out. I'm confident that we'll be able to cover that loose end. We'll get it out of there, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I don't think there's anything more to add. So we can just move right on along. And the next thing that we did have was the tag team title match, which was gonna be the Street Profits versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And unfortunately, the fight ends in a DQ in a minute and 30 seconds. Street Profits wins the match. That's an automatic nope. I'm not even gonna touch it. None of my crew's gonna get to touch this one. We'll end this be. This was a call off. So nothing more to add. And next up we had was Bailey and Sasha Banks. A little bit of a tit for tat. Nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, you lead off. And oh boy, what a storyline we have on this one.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, they go out there to sign a contract, and Sasha has no problem. She signs it. Says I'm going to take you out no matter what at Hell in a Cell, and then Bailey does what she always does. And I think Sasha said it best. She was being a chicken. Wouldn't even sign the contract. Just took her title, or in the words of I think it was Cena talking to Rock, took his ball and went home. Well, that's kind of what she did. She took her chair, her title, and left. Um, and left the title or the contract unsigned there in the ring. So I'm sure sometime between now and the match, she'll eventually sign it, and they'll eventually have the match all set up and everything. But basically, you had your good versus evil here. You had your face sitting there, ready. I'm ready. I'm going to take you out. Daring her to tell her in the face, that she did all her wins on her own, which we all know she didn't. All that kind of stuff. And then you have the heel that's just arrogant, don't want to do anything. And then, like I said, taking her ball and going home. So not much more I'm going to add. I mean, it was good storyline building. So it's yours, Fletch.
That's exactly what it was. Great storyline building, great story all the way around. Nuclear heat for Bailey for not signing the contract, but eventually she will. Try to get the leg up on Sasha. And look, whatever the case may be, this has got it. I'm so glad that we got to keep these ladies on the show. This is one of the bright spots of SmackDown Live. This women's division, yes, we are very depleted. We got torn to bits by Monday Night Raw in the draft, and they really did a major disservice to us. But at the end of the day, they did an incredible job when it comes to this storyline. So there was really nothing more to add. I enjoyed it, and it was what it needed it to be. It was perfect. It was great. I loved it. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, Bailey and Sasha is the best thing going on SmackDown right now.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. I mean, yeah. I mean, Monday Night Raw definitely cleaned out your women's division, no doubt about it. But I mean, and now Raw's got the most stacked women's division since the days of Trish and Lita and all of them years ago. But enough of that. Let's get back to this. One of the best details about this segment was how uncomfortable Bailey looked as Sasha Banks told her the hard truth about why she has been the SmackDown Women's Champion for so long. It was a great bit of character acting from the champion. Refusing to sign the contract is something we rarely see in these segments. It made Bailey look scared and gave Banks the upper hand. This was not by any means groundbreaking, but it was a fantastic display from two characters who will forever be linked by their years-long storyline. So this was a great segment. I could probably go as far as to call it the segment of the night. And there's nothing left for me to say. And I'm going to bring the Phenom Michael Bullock on in here. So Bullock, like I told you during our SmackDown chat, and MF and Didi, I'm going to tell you guys this as well. When it comes to you, Bailey, remember these words. Timid is another word for I'm scared.
And in the old days of Enzo Amore and Big Cass, let's just say, Florio, that Bailey is SAWFT soft.
Amen, brother.
Man, but man, I mean, yeah, Bailey with the nuclear heat that she's getting right now, for not signing the contract, and yeah, I mean that's a sign that she's scared, and Sasha Banks was basically laying out the truth for her, saying that the reason why that you are SmackDown Women's Champion for this long is because of what I did for you. And I didn't turn my back on you. You were the one that turned your back on me. So all these accomplishments, the reason why you've been champion for this long, it's because of me. And you nearly ended my career, and I'm going to make sure that, as the old saying goes, karma is a bitch. That payback is coming for you. And that'll be the case when it is official. I mean, we know Bailey's going to sign the contract eventually. When? Who knows? It could be next week, or yeah, we'll definitely.
It's going to have to be next week.
It's going to have to be next week because it's the go home show. So I think it's going to happen next week. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But this was definitely a great segment. Definitely the segment of the night. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, let's move on.
All right, and it does lead us into the main event of the evening, the Universal title on the line. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, winner of the bout in 10 minutes and 40 seconds, and still the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. However, after the match, Jey Uso came out, and it looked like Roman was going to try to manipulate Jey again. Well, it didn't work this time, and it actually led to a mini brawl between the two. So, but Roman got the upper hand at the end. Alright, so obviously Roman's trying to manipulate him. Trying to say, we're family, you can trust me, this and that. But Jey, it almost looked like Jey wised up and's like, no, I'm not gonna fall for your games this time, and took it to the tribal chief himself. But Roman did get the upper hand at the end, which is alright, fine, great way to close the show. Solid main event, as always. Roman and Strowman, not bad. That's a good battle. I don't think there's really nothing bad to say. I think they did what they needed it to do. This was nicely done, fair done. I could give this about maybe 2.5 to close to 3 for the main event. The stuff after the main event was brilliantly done. That was what we needed it to see. We got a good payoff on the main event segment because it gives us a little more, it gives us more meat to the bone as we're heading into Hell in a Cell and the big Universal title match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. I think they did a very good job telling the story, playing this out. They've done very well with this. I'm very happy with the way that this show is going down. And like you said, very, very well done. Smackdown Live. We started a little slow, but boy did we pick up steam, and we came in on a nice, very solid. We brought that baby home to a nice cruise at the end. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. Solid 3 stars, second best fight of the night. Ending the match with a submission was an interesting decision. Roman Reigns is not known for using holds, and Braun Strowman has rarely ever lost this way. So it made the tribal chief look even more dominant. The storyline between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns continues to be entertaining, but at some point, Jey needs to look like he is capable of beating his cousin, and so far we have not seen that. The match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman was physical, just like all of their previous encounters, mainly on Monday Night Raw back in the day. But having a Hell in a Cell match and the fact that Strowman is now going back to Raw already made those two things alone made this outcome more than predictable. So that's all there is to say on that. The segment at the end was incredible. Great angle. Cannot wait to see this Hell in a Cell I Quit match. I mean, MF, this is going to be a man fight if there ever was one, and it's only fitting it's a SmackDown match. So that's all there is to say on this. So Well, 2 of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, Friday Night SmackDown. So, MF, you've got 2 show stealers on your hand come a week from Sunday. So, that's all there is to say on this. Solid 3 stars. Great post-match at the end. So, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I guess now we can finally say Braun Strowman is now finally finished with Roman Reigns, even though he lost.
Yeah, I guess we can say, yeah, they definitely are finished now. But yeah, 3 stars, second best fight of the night. I mean, yeah, I mean, Roman Reigns winning by a submission, it's not too often we hear of that. And for Strowman to tap out, I mean, that's something we never thought we'd see. But this makes Roman look even more stronger. I mean, going into this Hell in a Cell I Quit match against Jey Uso, but I mean, I really like this the way this is going. So maybe at some point we're gonna see a much different side of Jey Uso eventually. I mean, maybe we saw it when he took the steel chair to Roman, but basically Roman ended up on top again. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, this was something, all right. I definitely agree with the rating on the match, and yes, it looks really good for Roman, um, with the way his persona is right now, being the tribal chief. You know, getting that submission win over Braun Strowman, and it looked even better for Jay the way he came out and took the bull by the horns and said, "Hey, this, I'm not, going to stand for this," and taking the chair and beating the crap out of him. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to add. It was a great way to end SmackDown, and great way to build this storyline just that little bit more as we're going right into pay-per-view here within the next week or so. So not much more I have to add. It's yours, Fletch.
All right, and we're going to go right into the overall review. So, Anthony Florio, you lead off, my friend.
All right. Like I said, it started slow, but it definitely got better as it got along. And what else is there to say? I mean, this was a very, very good season premiere of Friday Night SmackDown. The New Day 6-man was definitely the fight of the night. And then the main event was the second best fight of the night. And then you had that great contract signing with Bayley and Sasha and the Bryan segment. I mean, that was great as well. And 6 to 6.5, I would have to say, for this. You know, they're still sorting out the draft results and everything else, and but I'll tell you, I mean, definitely looks like the beginning of bigger and better things for Friday Night SmackDown, and this was a solid show this evening, and 2 quality matches, couple of good segments here and there. So I would have to say about 6.5. I mean, that's really the best I can give it. So good start, MF. Hopefully bigger and better things to come. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
All right.
Oh,
It's yours, Bullock.
it's my turn. Yeah, it's my turn. I'm gonna say I'll go somewhere between 6.5 to 7. I mean, I think this was a good show. I mean, it wasn't great. I mean, it did get off to a little bit of a slow start. Obviously, with the opening segment and the short match with Lars Sullivan and Matt Hardy, and obviously the NA with the SmackDown Tag Team Title match. But everything else was good when it definitely comes to the other segments and the matches as well. So yeah, 6.5 to 7 for me. So Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Correction, it was Jeff, not Matt. You said Matt Hardy. It was Jeff
All right,
Hardy.
corrected. So thank you for
Yeah,
correcting me on that, TD.
no problem. Yeah, I could go about 6.5 with this. It was for what it was worth. It was a good season opener. Um, you know, like you guys said, they're still trying to sort things out. You got to wrap up some storylines and start building others, and uh, plus you've got the pay-per-view here in a couple weeks. But the one thing SmackDown's always been notorious for, and definitely had it tonight, was that storyline building. They're great at storyline building, and they did it again tonight. No matter what they were doing, it was building some sort of a storyline somewhere. Either with the ladies, with the guys, something along the way. Just getting us ready for the pay-per-view, or getting us ready for whatever's going to come on the go home show. So yeah, it was a great night as far as that goes. Yeah, we had a couple of low points, but we had a lot of highs, and like I said, a lot of good storylines going on and building there, and we'll just have to see how certain ones play out, because some of them are still a little confusing. You don't know, like with the Seth Rollins thing, you don't know which direction it's going to go, because there's several different outcomes that could come out of that. But we'll, as time goes on, we'll see. So not much more I'm going to add. Like I said, about 6.5. So good night, guys.
Good night, Dee Dee. And yeah, I'll go with 6.5 to 7. I thought it was an all right show. Like we said, the beginning of it wasn't so great, but it did get better throughout the night, and yeah, it did very well at the end. So I really got nothing more to add, guys, and that's it for tonight. So we're done. Tomorrow night is NFL Saturday, hosted by Anthony Florio at 10:30 Eastern, as Anthony will be running down all the NFL action for week number 6 of the National Football League. And then Ridiculously Raw comes back on Monday night, and we got a whole thing coming up. So basically, it's our go home, and we set up for the Hell in a Cell. So with that said, thank you, Dee Dee Woodson. Thank you, Anthony Folio. Thank you, Michael Bullock. Thank you, guys. As always, like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, and share with all your friends on all the social media platforms around the world. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Until then, so long, everybody. Have a good night. Bye-bye.